What if I told you your podcast could become your number one lead generation tool? It works for you 24/7. People can consume your messaging anytime while you're sleeping, while you're spending time with your family. This is something that I think is highly underutilized as a way to nurture quality leads. People are always so focused on generating leads, but man, there's probably so much gold that you already have inside your CRM, inside your database, that you're just not getting back with people. There's a way that you can get people to open up, especially at your key accounts, by sit down with them, talking for 20, 30 minutes about them and understand what their true business needs are, and then you can present something that makes sense over time, or at least cater your actual offer a little bit better. What if there's a way that you can go about having this stuff automated for you? Like you can have an actual offer where you go on somebody else's show that has credibility. You can borrow their audience for a period of time, present them with the offer, and then have it automated back into your CRM so you can start your actual deal flow and your actual follow-up from there. I mean, there's a lot of ways that people are overlooking podcasting in our space and how powerful of a tool this is. If you look at what happened during the elections, right? So if you saw what the key move was podcast guesting. This is whenever the actual candidates went on to a well-known podcaster show and they got millions of views within less than a couple of days. Like, for instance, I think that whenever Trump went on to like Joe Rogan, I think he did close to about 50 million views within less than 2 weeks. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. Now, I know it's the president candidate that everybody was like tuned into what was happening, but this is something that's happening every day in your niche, and people are building real relationships. And if you're not taking advantage of this podcast guesting like strategy or having your own business development tool, a BizDev show, man, I think you're really missing on a great opportunity to have a nice, steady inflow of high quality leads. Let me show you exactly how this fits into your sales process. If you think about what's happening in culture, where you have that TikTokification of like how we consume media, where everything's done in like these crazy opening hooks, and you gotta be fast with your messaging, and you gotta get this really impactful like dopamine drip to everyone within the less than 60 seconds, or it's not meaningful. And even honestly, to even catch them, you got to catch them at the first 7 seconds. The first 3 to 5 seconds are crucial when it comes to these things, and that's important. I'm not going to take anything away from what the people want, right? However, with that, I think there's a dying need. Anytime you have that type of hard, aggressive push in one direction, you have a counterculture movement that's coming right behind it, and the long form play is back. Podcasting is not new. It's been around for years. I've done it for the past 7 years. And I tell you that, man, there are some real dilemmas with trying to understand how are you going to monetize this thing, man? Like, how are you going to make this something that you're just not having a microphone set up in your parents' basement trying to figure out how to try to sell some ad dollars or trying to get some actual sponsorships. And I think that for anybody that's a business owner, especially a service-based business owner, I don't care if you're a recruiter, a marketing agency, it doesn't really matter, IT consultant, whatever you're doing, an actual business coach, like figuring out how you can tie this into what you offer, I think is crucial. This could be done for products as well, but for services, it's a no-brainer because you can really, really dial in your actual right target audience and have an offer attached to these actual shows that would drive business. So before I jump the gun, let me kind of talk about some of the challenges. You know, when you think about how inconsistent it is for, you know, how much consistency that's needed to actually have a good show, but then how the ROI is not really, for most podcasters, defined. Like there's a lack of a really clean process about which business you're in when it comes to making content and what's the model behind it that's going to make sense. And when you think about that piece, there's no lead generation strategy and there's no way to target the right audience on different platforms. You know what shows to go on to, what shows to avoid, what shows are a waste of time, and just make sure that you have a message that's going to bring value to somebody else's audience if you choose to go do that whole guesting strategy that we saw most of these candidates do over the past couple months. And last but not least, there's no connection between this and your sales process or your CRM or your sales funnel in a way that you can track and follow up and nurture these leads. Because people talk about lead generation, but a lot of times it's not a lead generation problem. It's an actual like lead nurturing problem. You don't know what to say and follow up with them with. You're just coming back looking for new names and numbers, or your team is, and they don't have anything to really say. They're not saying anything fresh. They're not bringing new ideas out to them. And so how do you stay top of mind when that person is ready to buy and they're looking for what you have to offer? They probably forgot about you if they're just growing old in your database. A lead nurturing process, I think, is mandatory to really having your podcast become successful. This is a funnel that I put together to help people better understand this. I I'm going to walk through a couple pieces of this, but you figure out where you have challenges at in the funnel. Where do you have leaks, holes, gaps, whatever's going on? What areas could your podcast better benefit? So if it's just awareness, if people don't know you exist, then obviously repurposing clips from your conversations. If you do a solo cast or if you're talking to other people, getting those clips, putting those into shorts. Like I said, shorts is what people are looking for. Get that top of mind awareness out. Find something punchy, clip it up and get it out there. There's some great tools like Opus and some other things like Descript I use. I can give you my actual links to it. They're affiliate links, but go out and get them. Try them out yourself. I always appreciate if you guys want to support where you guys got it by just going to use my referral links below. And if you got some awareness happening, user-generated content is what you need next. Get some social proof. Let people know that you are trustworthy, your product does deliver, you get the outcomes that you're promising or that people think that they ought to be looking for by showing other people's outcomes and results. It's a great way to start. So user-generated content, having those people on your show, no brainer. Man, think about the next play in authority. The guesting piece, I think, is just so overrated. It's underrated. Like going on somebody's show with the right offer, targeting the right audience, sitting down with them for that 15 to 30 minute segment to talk about what's happening in their industry, deliver value for them. And then, of course, make sure that you have a message that it makes sense. Like notice that whenever Trump was on Rogan or whenever Kamala Harris was on Club, Shay, they all had a message of go out and vote. They go out and try to, vote for me. I'm going to change your life by doing blah, blah, blah. But there was something that they were pitching. So you got to have a pitch that's quick, concise, and targeted towards that audience that makes sense. So it's a great play. And notice we haven't talked about spending any advertising dollars yet, but one of the best ones, and this is to all my service-based business owners, man, I tell you, this is a move. If you haven't done it, you need to dedicate just as a limited series, like a Netflix series special style, between 6 to 10 episodes of you talking to your key accounts. They would love, I would imagine, if you reach out to 10 of them, you're going to get at least 5 people that say, hey, I'm interested in coming on your show about our industry. So you start a BizDev show. Normally the show is great if you have a show title that talks about the industry. This way you can talk about industry topics. You can talk about whatever you want, but I just think that if you make it about your industry, hopefully you guys both care about your industry. You won't mind sharing some insights about that space. But the reason why this is so powerful is because you're getting time, FaceTime, belly to belly, or if you guys doing a Zoom, whatever it is, with your target account, and hopefully you'll get to know them some more and understand their business better. So when you come back the following weeks, next month, whenever it is, you have more insight about how you can deliver that. And if you make the show about them, so you bring them on, you allow them just to talk about what's important to them, man, people love sharing their experience. They want to talk about themselves. So the more that you can do that, the better. And I think a BizDev show is highly underrated. If you're interested in doing this type of tactic, this is a move that I need more people to consider for the future, especially going into, this next phase of where we're going with podcasting, where I think it's going to have a huge move, man. And we haven't said anything about advertising yet. You can put ads behind any one of these plays. But let me tell you, if you're doing anything that's B2B targeted, and you need to have detailed conversation, and you're having trouble following up with people and with figuring out what to say next, invite them onto your show, make it a limited series, see if you like it, but just start the show. If you need help with that, that's what I'm here to do, to help you launch the show, get the AI booking tools to help you get there. And we can automate so much of the stuff so it's easy. And man, it's been such a game changer about how you're perceived with your actual clients when you can show up and offer something of value by allowing them a platform to go help drive their mission and their awareness out for whatever they're up to. Man, with that being said, make 2025 a place and a time where you take advantage of podcasting to help grow your business and push your mission.